How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to my brand new game room, or streaming room, or I don't know what it's going to be. Well, I do know what it's going to be. It's going to be my man cave, because I'm an adult, and I can do whatever I want. I figured it was time to put together another video over here on the channel. I've been primarily doing streaming, right, on here and on Twitch, playing games. Big right now is Expedition 33. I was dabbling with Resident Evil 2 Remake as well, and coming up very, very soon, the Switch 2 is launching. That is happening this coming Thursday, and I'm hoping to be doing an all-day stream. I don't know if it'll be all about the Switch 2, because I was just at the mall talking to the guy about it, and the only game that really interests me is Mario Kart World. So we'll see. Maybe I'll pick up Cyberpunk 2077. I have never played that game, but I have had people tell me that to not even bother with any Switch version, well, this is the only version, but to just get it on the PlayStation and be done with it because it's probably better quality. I'm getting off track, as I usually do. I wanted to make this video and focus on the fact that I have an actual space to make a game room. If you've been watching those streams, then obviously you're very familiar with this space already. But it's going to be something that evolves and changes over time. And I wanted to go over my current collection of games, because that's what this channel is about, right? My hobbies. And primarily it's been focused on video games, and that's the way it will be for a while until a certain dinosaur movie launches later this year. Then we'll probably start doing movie reviews again. But I thought it'd be fun to just get ahead of the curve. Well, try to get ahead of the curve. I need to unpack. I've got a new space. If you're just joining me, I've been living in a van for the last 3.5 years, and I had the brilliant idea to start collecting video games again while I was still living in the van. Became a little bit of a cluster F, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm very happy now. If you've been following me on my other channel, Van Life Plus, you are up to date on the fact that I'm not in a van anymore, and that's obviously very prevalent here. So I'm very excited to finally have a space to make my own in this sense for my hobby, and I will just be unpacking my boxes so I can stop looking at them, and we're going to organize them on the back shelf here. I have a different bookshelf that I want to use. It's downstairs. It's white as opposed to black, and it's not as deep as this one. Should I go get it instead and just be done with it? I don't know. I kind of like the way the black one looks. It's subtle. Yeah, all right, we'll just stick with this one for now, and then maybe I can get that white one over here. We'll see. My game collection right now is not extensive, obviously, because I've been living in a van, and also because so much is digital these days, right? It's looking like the Switch 2 is primarily going to be that, which is a little disheartening and sucks as someone who enjoys physical media and collecting, but it is what it is. Don't have to dwell on it. So we'll just dive into the meat and the potatoes. Again, if you've been following me on that channel ever since I started the quest to start collecting my childhood again, you know that primarily these are Nintendo 64 games, which completely flies in the face of the fact that I've been streaming PlayStation games so frequently lately. But it is what it is. So I'm just going to start in no particular order, and I guess maybe as we go, I'll put them out on the shelf. Hang on. I'm going to need space to do that. Let's maybe move this stuff over for now, and we'll see how far along we get. I'm very excited to continue building this room as time goes on. So like I said, it should be evolving. All right, first one in the box here, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer on the N64. I would like to get this collection where everything's complete in a box, but that is a challenge for sure, and it can get expensive. But a lot of these I do have boxes for, which is awesome. So yeah, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer, I remember having a lot of fun with this back in the day when I was much younger, when it first came out. I have not plunked this into my system yet, so there's something that we can look forward to. Now the big question is which side do I display? And I picked a horrible box to start with, because if you're familiar with the N64 boxes, you know that primarily, here's another one, Dr. Mario 64, their spines are all different colors, right? You got the green side, the yellow side, the blue side, and then the red side. Red side is pointless to display because there's no title there. Maybe we'll go, what's going to be the best way to do this? Like this, maybe? The reason I say it was stupid to start with Star Wars is because it's all black all the way around, even on the red side. What was LucasArts thinking? Anyway, let's just start with these two. We're going to plop them down right there. Yeah, maybe we'll go... I think in terms of space, yellow side out's going to be the way to go. Yeah, I'm also really excited to get more lighting on this and just get as funky and creative with the background as I can. Unless that would be too much. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how much lighting you think I should use. All right, this is cool. I never even played this game back in the day, but I got myself a box copy of Star Fox 64, and it has the Rumble Pack in it as well. It's obviously a very large box because of the inclusion of the Rumble Pack, so that makes it a little bit more obnoxious, but it is what it is. We'll leave it off to the side there for now. What else do we got here? Okay, this was super fun to pick up. I picked it up at a mall in the north here in Calgary. NHL 99. I'm not a big sports guy, but I've got a lot of fond memories with this game, playing it with my best friend when we were younger. And so when I saw this in a box, and it was only like $35, I think, to get, I was like, well, obviously that has to come home with me. And it did. Well, I mean, at that time, it came back to the van, but it is what it is. I've also got a boxed copy of Space Station Silicon Valley. That might sound like a mouthful, and a lot of you might be saying, what the hell is that? It's actually a really, really fun game. And a fun fact about this game is this company, Take-Two Interactive, is basically the origin point of Rockstar Games, as far as I know. I could be wrong. Correct me if I am. But yeah, they went on to make just really small games like Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Let's get those over there. Awesome, awesome. All right, what else we got in this box? Perfect. Ah, yes. The two Bond games from the N64. The best one, The World Is Not Enough. I'm kidding. Everybody just calm down. But I really love... Pierce Brosnan is my favorite Bond. And this game, while it doesn't hold a candle in the dark to, obviously, to GoldenEye, I knew I wanted to get a box copy of it. So when I stumbled upon it, that was like, I don't know, it was like hitting the jackpot. Like these, you can find everywhere because it was so popular. For some reason, The World Is Not Enough was a little bit more difficult to find, but I was happy when I found it. So I got both of the James Bond games. I don't think there was another one on the N64. No. Slap those up there. Ooh, we're almost through one box. Well, kind of. Okay, well, this one's funny because... Yeah, this isn't complete in box, but this was a whole thing over on the other channel. But a copy of Roadsters on N64. It's a pretty generic racing game, but again, it was the thrill of finding it and piecing it together for the collection. So we have this game. This would be my crown jewel of the collection, of course. It is an actual collector's edition copy of The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. I believe it is currently, yeah, it's in my N64 right now. So the box, there's no cartridge in here, but we've been playing through that as well. It's been a hot minute since I've done that on the live stream. But yeah, this is by and far and away, my favorite Legend of Zelda game still to this day. I'm really holding out hope, probably like a fool, for a complete remake of this game on the Switch 2. That would be awesome, and I would be very excited to play through it. But either way, this one's probably going to get more of a special spot like up here simply because it's my favorite. But how does that look? Not bad. We'll figure it out. Okay, and then this is the problem with collecting N64 games. You're not always going to be able to find them in boxes, and I've got an absolute slew of ones with no boxes. We'll save that for the very end because I'm not 100% sure yet where they're going to go. Secondary box over here. I've got a box copy of Diddy Kong Racing. This is probably my favorite racing game ever. Yes, I'm looking forward to Mario Kart. Mario Kart is very good. This was the very first game I ever got with the N64. I got back in 1999, I think, for Christmas it was. A lot of fond memories with this game, playing with my little brother, and I was just playing it not too long ago, and it's just as fun as it was then. But I played it so much that it's just, I don't know. This doesn't need to be a history lesson of all of the games. I own Diddy Kong Racing. Moving right along. Of course, I've got myself a copy of Perfect Dark. This is basically the spiritual successor to GoldenEye because Rare lost the license, or what, EA bought the license to James Bond. Again, doesn't matter. Perfect Dark, very fun first-person shooter. And again, it did the same shit. It's got all black borders. You prick. You're going right there with Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. There we go. All right. I've got a lot of cables in boxes. It's like I'm moving or something, or well, I was moving. We can stick with Rare here. Okay, so I've also got myself a copy, a very used and abused looking copy, yikes, of Jet Force Gemini. I don't know. It's fun. It wasn't a game I got into a lot when it first came out back in the day. I definitely had more fun with it recently, ever since I picked it up. People love this game. It's good. It's just not Rare's strongest entry, I don't think. It can go up at the top, sit right on top of Diddy Kong Racing. All right, and then my favorite platforming game of all time. Is it of all time? Yeah, probably. I'm just going to go with it. Banjo-Kazooie. I can tell that this is an example of the game's not in here because I was playing it, so it's in the box of loose cartridges. But yeah, like I know Super Mario 64 is a lot of people's favorites, and that is an amazing game, don't get me wrong. But again, just got so many cool childhood memories attached to this game. And not as many memories attached to it, but it had a very good follow up with Banjo Tooie. A little bit bloated. You could definitely tell Rare was on their way to Donkey Kong 64, which was just a bloated mess of a game. Still fun, don't get me wrong. But yeah, these are just two amazing platform games that I'm very happy to have in my collection. Where the hell are they going to go? On top of Star Fox. All right then. This is a weird racing game, but again, I got a whole bunch of fond memories attached to it. I should probably find a new sleeve for it as well. It's a little smudged on the outside. Oh, you can't tell on the camera, so perfect. Yeah, Beetle Adventure Racing, a racing game completely focused around, you guessed it, the Volkswagen Beetle when it had its resurgence or whatever in the, what was that, early 2000s? When did this game come out? Either way, yeah, that's all the cars you can pick are Volkswagen Beetles. I have not played this yet since I picked it up, like bought it for the collection, but I'm looking forward to trying it out for sure. I remember having a lot of fun with it. It has a lot of adventure aspects in the sense, like very similar to, I believe, Diddy Kong Racing. And like you got to collect stuff while you're racing. I always like that shit. Kind of hope Mario Kart World has stuff like that. Not too long, and we will find out. Okay, so that's on there. What else we got over here? Ah, yes. This was the first 64 game I streamed here on the channel, and I did complete it, albeit not without a little assistance, but Shadowgate 64. That's all I'm going to say about that, because moving right along. Good! Another fun car crash racing game. I have played this since I purchased it. Again, I had a lot of fun with it back when I was younger. Destruction Derby 64, essentially just racing and smashing the bejeebus out of each other in cars. And then this one I picked up on a road trip to Edmonton. Not too long ago, I went up there to a video game store, and it was very fun to see and pick up Gauntlet Legends, an action adventure RPG elementy kind of game. It's like a hack and slash beat 'em up, sort of similar to Diablo and whatnot. It's where you'll hear me say it a lot. Wizard needs food badly. There you go. All right, add those on there. Boom. And I think that is it for my boxed copies of N64 games. So before we move on to the other games that I have on other systems, let's go through this box real quick of loose cartridge games. So, I've got Diddy Kong Racing, fine. This, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, was given to me by one of my subscribers. Thank you again, Mike. He passed that along to me down in Fish Creek Park when I was hanging out in my van like a dirty, dirty van lifer. Thank you, sir. I've got a copy of Spider-Man with no box. I've played this since I picked it up. It aged like milk. I've also got a couple ROM hack games here, which I'll talk about in a minute. I've got a copy of Wave Race 64. I've got, what else we got in here? I got, Clay Fighter 63 and a third. That got its own episode over on the channel. Cruisin' Exotica. It's a racing game. Not too bad. This was the game that came with the system that I bought. The green N64 was a copy of Donkey Kong 64. So sadly, I don't have a box for this one, but that's okay. I like the yellow cartridge. Obviously, it stands out. I got a copy of San Francisco Rush and Off-Road Challenge. Some of these came from like a Facebook marketplace lot that people were selling. If you don't know what a lot is, it's just a lot of shit being sold at once. I have a copy of 1080 Snowboarding with no box. I've got a working copy of Duke Nukem 64 and a copy of Duke Nukem 64 that doesn't work. If you know, you know. So put that down there. There's my copy of Jet Force Gemini. We'll get it back into its box. I've got, the San Francisco Rush 2049, another racing game. Doom 64. This is actually a really unique situation with Doom in that it's its own unique game. It's not like a remake of Doom 1 or 2 or anything like that. Amber got me a copy of Mickey's Speedway USA. This was the only Rare game I had never played back in the day. And I was hoping out for good things. I thought it was like, okay, it's a racing game from Rare. They made Diddy Kong Racing. We played this game, and it's all based around Mickey and his friends. It does not hold a candle. I'm going to say it again. It doesn't hold a candle in the dark to Diddy Kong Racing. It's a well-done racer, but it's just, I don't know, it's missing something, you know? What else we got in here? I got another ROM hack game. Yes, I've got Rayman 2, The Great Escape, on a very pretty green cartridge. Its box is really cool. It's got that, like, perforated 3D for the lettering on the box, and the box itself is really shiny. I saw one the other day at a game convention here in town. Guy didn't have a price on it, but I couldn't bring myself to buy a game that I already owned just because another copy had the box. I'm sure there'll be that sort of craziness later in the future. There's my copy of Banjo-Kazooie, and then another crown jewel in my collection, simply because it's become so rare and sought after for whatever reason, and I'm very excited to play this on the channel, but it is a copy of Conker's Bad Fur Day, and I'm just going to say again, if you know, you know, and we will most likely get to that. Now the question is where do I put all of these loose cartridge games? I guess for now, just right beside the boxed games, eh? Because I'm going to have to start getting labels for these so I can see them. Yeah, we'll just stack them up here. How's that look? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's not so bad. All right, and then yeah, some ROM hacks for those that don't know. These just like they're not licensed games by Nintendo. They're just made by fans basically, and then put onto cartridges. I've got a copy of Smash Remix, a copy of The Legend of Zelda: Voyager of Time, and The Legend of Zelda: The Missing Link. So these are just they're fake games basically. So they're not really part of the collection, but they look like they could be, right? We'll put those off to the side for now. Okay, and that's basically it for the N64 games, I think. Yes. Oh yeah, here's my scattered collection of other nonsense. So I've got, again, Amber was able to find me some 360 games, which I actually, at that video game convention, I did pick up not only this t-shirt as well as a really cool Chung-Li t-shirt. I picked up a used, I was gonna say copy, but that's not right. A used Xbox 360, which was like my heyday of gaming that I still like remember well because I wasn't just a wee lad sort of thing. But yeah, she had grabbed me before I even had the console. One of these is an Xbox original game. Let's get that out of there. She grabbed me all of these at Value Village on one of her excursions. So we've got Halo 3, Halo 4, Far Cry 3, and Far Cry 2. She didn't know any better about Far Cry 2. Won't hold it against her. It was still very kind of her to just grab these. They were not expensive at all. Like Halo 4 was $3. Yeah. And then she also got me a copy of Halo 2, which is an OG Xbox game. I believe the 360 is backwards compatible and can play that game. And this is my first game that I picked up since I started recollecting. I used to love these sports games, like the Tony Hawk games and stuff like that, Matt Hoffman's BMX. And anyways, this was originally going to be called Sean Murray's Pro Wakeboarder back in the day. For whatever reason, Activision decided to change the name to Wakeboarding Unleashed, featuring Sean Murray. And that's, if you know me, I like boats. I like getting dragged behind it, although you wouldn't know it because I'm old and I've never filmed that before. But yeah, this was $5 and it is backwards compatible. It can be played on the 360. So that might be something I do over on the stream at one point as well. And then in case you didn't know, Shoppers Drug Mart is going out of business. Well, no, fake news. Shoppers Drug Mart is not going out of business, but they're not going to be carrying video games anymore. So there's not a lot to pick over anymore, but I did find a couple PlayStation games at one that was closing down. So I've never played this or this, right? So I got Far Cry 6 and Deathloop. So that's something, part of the collection. And then also I want to get this out on display, but I got myself a copy of the Nintendo World Championship NES edition for the Switch. At this point, since I can't get my Switch dock off the wall, one more time, for those in the back, if you know, you know, I'll probably be playing this on my Switch too. So it's actually okay that only Mario Kart World's coming out. I've got lots to play. So where should these ones go? Probably up top here. We can put this one up here as well, maybe for now. And then we'll move. I've got a bunch of Switch games here. We won't go over them. They're not as cool. But I do have a lot of cool Switch games that were sent to me by my subscribers. I've got a copy of Mario and Luigi Brothership from Carrie. Thank you, my dear. I got a copy of Legend of Zelda: Courage of Wisdom from Ian. Thank you, sir. As well as Sonic X Shadow and Xenoblade Chronicles and stuff like that. But yeah, so how does that look? Let me get a look at this. It definitely needs work, but it is the start of the game room. The most important thing is I have empty boxes now that I can recycle. And yeah, I'm very excited to get this room up to snuff, let's say. But anyways, that probably dragged on way longer than I intended it to. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. Just a quick look at the current state of the game collection here on Triple 64. So until the next video, or more than likely the next live stream, have a fantastic day, everybody. And we'll talk to you all so soon.